So Victoria on the right-hand side, Lewis. And the Thunder going forward here with a good pass by Bobber Lewis. Warren goes over. So it's 5-4. The Cyclones from Queensland's lead. As now they go down the middle here. Carr gets onto the ball. There was a great pass at the ends by Thompson to Carr as Carr tries to beat the defence here of Lewis, but Lewis stopped him.
And what we have here is a leaving the court violation. So Cam Carr not quite facing the goal line. So we will have Matt Lewis from Victoria to the box to serve the 1 minute or until the next try for Queensland.
So he'll sit out for the moment, Bomber Lewis, the key players for Victoria. Very good side they've got as Queensland have possession. This is Bond. Bond wants to swivel past here, Lees. Does nicely. He's got nobody near it. He's a go himself here. Tries to beat Warren, he does. And Bond goes over. And the scoreline now is 6-4. 5:12 remaining, and now we see Lewis go back to the mark. Lewis now gets the pass on to Lees. And now Lewis back up the centre. Gets a long ball out. Warren gets the bounce. And we'll go over for another. So 5 minutes remaining first quarter. And it is 6-5, Emma Stewart.
Yeah, some incredible rugby here. Both teams really straight out onto the floor in this game.
So Thompson now. He's got Warren on him as well as Lewis. Let's see, what can he do here? Thompson lobbed the ball up, found his Bonds. Bond now looking to go back to the right. He's got Warren trying to defend him. Bond now gets the pass out to Carr. Carr beats into the defence of Lees to go over. And another point there for Queensland. So now it's Victoria chasing here, down by 2. What can they do? On the left-hand side of Thunder. Ward gets a pass out. And Lewis picks up the bouncing ball. And will go through. And another point. So 4:19 remaining. It's 7-6. Queensland lead Victoria. So now let's see what the Victorians can do in defence. Queensland, again, looking to try to be the firmer side with the ball.
So we have a timeout called here. A bit caught up there in the back court. Queensland taking that opportunity for the timeout. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who do we have going for Victoria this morning? And how about the Queenslanders? Ho, ho, ho. Got a bit of Queensland love, it would appear, here at Sydney Olympic Park.
So now it's going to be the Cyclones. And the Thunder really trying to get this gap pushed back to even Stevens. It's a 1-point margin at the moment. Queensland will have the ball again.
Chris Bond a bit locked up there by the 2 Victorian players.
Yeah, well, they go back to Bond now. Bond now beats one defender. Warren tries to stop him as well as Lewis. He went towards his left-hand side. Here goes Bond back towards the centre. Nice work by him. Moves around and will go over.
And Matty Thompson here on the floor took the tumble. So we'll have an equipment timeout. Staff from Queensland jumping on the court. So we've got carpet here to save the floors, but also to help assist with the lifts. And as you'll see, we've got a senior player here, James Duncan, assisting. No longer putting the jersey on, but part of the coaching and team staff for Queensland. Jason Lees with the ball from the base for Victoria. 4 minutes remaining in this first period. The lead is by 2 for Queensland.
So now it's Lewis going forward. Bond tries to stop him as well as Scott, as now he went towards the middle. Beats here one defender, bounces the ball, picks it up, goes towards the centre, and that is great work by Lewis but also the blocking by the Victorian side was great on that occasion. And that's great stuff at the end there by Fawcett. Very good player for this Victorian side as now Bond goes forward down the left. Bond beat the defence nicely, goes over. So again, this margin is by 2. It's Queensland's leading Victoria. We said before how vital it is to get this 2-goal or back-to-back goal. And that's what they really need to do here, Victoria. Get back in that position where they can get back-to-back. There's now Warren going over half-court. Now looking to beat the defence of Bond. He wants to move back on the inside. Got the pass back towards Lewis. Lewis now is going to try to go left. He'll beat the defender nicely. He'll go in. So he beat Thompson. And it's a 1-point margin once again. Victoria and Queensland doing battle. The Victoria Protect Thunder against the Suncorp Queensland Cyclones is now Bond lobs it up here. Carr will get there and Carr will go over. 3 remaining, Queensland lead by 2.
Some big hits on and off ball here in this game 2, day 2 at Sydney Olympic Park. Matt Lewis through the middle, throws it through, but Queensland ends up with it. Bundy for Queensland.
So now Bond goes forward. Bond tries to beat Warren, has to get over the court now. He does. He's got supporting Carr, but doesn't need it. He goes over. Bond scores another, and it's 11-8 now to a 3-goal lead for Queensland. And again, Victoria need to get back in this one. On the right, they've got the ball, Lewis. Lewis now for Victoria, looking to go back towards the centre. He bounces the ball once, goes over half court now. Looking to go down the left. He'll go over once again.
And doesn't he have some speed about him, Nicholas? Matt Lewis, Victoria.
He's very good, him and Bond. It's always been a great battle between those two. As now, again, Bond going towards his left side. Lewis trying to stop him. Now he'll have to go back to the right. Bomb. Oh, well, the throw, I should say, by Bond. Found his support, and it's Carr. And Carr again looking to go towards the centre. Carr goes back to Bond. 19 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Couldn't find Tier Thompson, and Victoria will pick up the ball. In fact, it will go out at the end. Victoria letting it go out. Initially, you would have thought they would have gone it, making the right call at the end. So, Lewis throws it long. Nobody's there for Victoria. Like I would always say, nobody within QE. Now it's Queensland that have it. Bond. On the right, Bond, nice stuff by him. Bond goes up the middle. Bond now back to the right. Will go himself. And now it is a 3-goal margin once again. Queensland doing it nicely in the first quarter. Score is 12-9. It's Queensland leading.
We've got a really great match in store for us, as you can see in this first period. Most of the players that you see on the field are in fact Australian Steelers players representing our country. So they're very fit, training regularly, having had played against Canada earlier this week for a bit of a warm-up. Very impressive play and amazing athletes, these gents on court.
So Lewis trying to go up the middle here. Will need a turn around. He goes right and he goes back left. Trying to swivel back in. Good defence again there by Carr.
And no goal scored. He's hit the cone first. Amazing defence there by the Queensland side. Really pressing Matt Lewis. And Queensland takes it from the side. Matt Thompson with the ball on the inbound.
So again, they had possession, Queensland. Pass on there by Scott. Ball locked forward by Thompson. This is Carr going forward. Carr down the left-hand side, trapped. Goes back towards Bond. Bond now, yes, they get the call at the end.
Yeah, he was going to make that over the line, which would have been a backcourt, so he squeezed that time out in. Great lock-up there. Smart play from Bondi to prevent that backcourt. And they'll call a timeout, proceed to their bench. So they have 4 timeouts, on-court timeouts, which last 30 seconds during the game. And they also have 2 coaches, which are 60-second timeouts, where the coach may want to reconvene set a new plan and perhaps have a substitution as well. So we've only got 43 and 5 remaining in this first period. The score is 12-9, Queensland in the lead. Maddie Thompson with the ball for Queensland from the side.
And it's Bond that has it once again. Slow in regards to working out their plan of attack here. Victoria sitting back on their quarter. And again, it's Bond who goes down the right. Bond now wants to go in the middle. Stopped there by Lewis. Bond then goes back left. He swivels back towards the right side. Beats here the defender. Tries to go over. He does now. So it's Queensland with a 4-point margin now. It's getting tougher and tougher for Victoria in the early stages of this one. Lewis has it on the left-hand side. Lewis is going forward here. Beats Bond, got the pass to Warren. Warren goes left. He goes over once again. So 3-point margin.
Bondi had been locked up there by 3 Victorian players. They really don't want him with the inbound. And it's through to Maddie Thompson from Cameron Carr.
And gets it back in the Bond, but it was smothered and pushed away at the end by Lewis.
Queensland will keep the ball with 3.7 seconds remaining in this first period. Bit of pressure here.
So Scott getting himself in position. Carr will look to go to Scott, but Bond's also looking to move there. Also Thompson's back, so looking for a big thrower to shoot, though he might go back to Bond. So let's see what Carr does here. 3.7 on the clock. Bond went low and he went straight to the Victorian player. A minute, I should say 1.9 remaining here. Victoria will have it. Very interesting the way things ended up there for the Cyclones.
So Victoria's got the ball now with 1.9 remaining on the clock. They'll probably just chew this up.
So you can't do much with it, Lewis, at the end. And it is the first quarter done. Score here is Queensland Cyclones 13, Victoria 10. We will be back in about a minute and a half. It is the Queensland Cyclones against the Victorian Thunder.
And it'll be Victoria's ball to start the second quarter. Game 2, day 2 here at Olympic Park.
So the second half, or second quarter I should say, will start. So used to saying second half, it's second quarter.
So it's the second what?
Yeah, exactly. Warren will work it to Lewis, and now Lewis will go over half. He'll bounce it, and now he'll bounce again. The left-hand side wants to start the second quarter on 5-4. Lewis going back to the right, and he'll try to beat the defender, trying to go over Bonds there. And he tried to get the pass out to Warren, but the infringement has been called here.
And Nicholas, just there, we've had 10 seconds in the keyway from Jaden. So unfortunately, no try there to Victoria in the first few seconds of the second quarter. Queensland ball from the sideline.
Well, let's see if we can hear the Victorian fans. Who's going for Victoria? And who's going for Queensland?
Impressive, impressive. I'm down from the sunny state, so it's great to see there's some Queensland support. And up next we have the New South Wales versus Japan.
Yep.
I'm sure we have some home state New South Walesers that'll be happy to see a nice match against Japan for the game at 1:30 here today at Sydney Olympic Park.
So 7:41 on the clock here for the second quarter. The Fierce 4 2017 GIO Wheelchair Rugby Nationals. Precursor to the next year's event, the international event, which will be here in Sydney. Now Carr goes to Bond. Bond now goes right. Bond looking to beat the defence. He beat here Lees. Now he's got a good fight against Lewis, but he beats him. The race was always on. There was always Bond who was going to be the man to equate 7:29. Queensland lead here, 14-10. As now it's Warren on the right. The Thunder now with Warren bouncing the ball, nearly going up high, was able to control, and then he goes back to Lewis. Lewis now going forward. He wants to go left. He'll beat here the defensive Carr, and he'll go over. So now, Queensland restart. Carr looking to somehow get a ball at 3. Now we couldn't get it free. At the end it's won nicely by Warren. And Warren will go over, and that's a very vital try because it makes it a 2-point margin. A couple of seconds ago it was a 4-point margin, so Victoria cut it in half. Now it's Bond. Bond will make it a 3-point margin once again. Zemma, this is interesting, isn't it? Because Victoria started this second quarter on fire. Queensland's on the back foot.
Yeah, they're both hungry for this game. This is the 4th round of the Nationals here in Australia. Matt Lewis with the ball up on the left side.
And Lewis makes it another. So again, another 2-point margin. Queensland still leading against Victoria. So now the Cyclones. Bond, right hand side. Beat here Lewis, also beat Lees. Going back towards the middle. Bond now throws it long. He's got Carr, and Carr will go over. So another point is on the board. Again, it's a 3-point margin. 6:27 remaining, first half, second quarter. And what do the Victorian side need to do here in the next 6.5 minutes?
And Nicholas, here we've had a timeout call. They're really feeling the pressure. Queensland's defence really tight there, pressing up against Victoria. So Victoria forced Jason Lees taking the timeout, and they will take the ball back from the baseline. Now in court we have our 2 referees, Liam and Scott. Scotty's come over from New Zealand, and Liam down from Melbourne, or up rather. So both international referees, Liam for Australia and Scott for New Zealand here at Sydney Olympic Park. Jason Lees with the ball from the base for Victoria.
So we restart. Lewis was not going to get the ball. Warren at the end did, but Lewis was going to be one of the options at the end. We see here Warren with it. Warren bounces once, gets it on. Lewis is in. So again, it's a 2-point margin, 16-14. Queensland will have possession once more. Ball is thrown, Bond couldn't win it. Oh, good stuff there by Lewis. Now this is key because they need a score here to make it a 1-point margin. Lewis goes forward here. Bond on it. Lewis now wants to get on the Warren. He does. Warren goes forward. Warren is over once again. So now it's a 1-point margin and Victoria have cut it nicely in this second quarter. So Carr has it now for Queensland. The Cyclones on the charge. Carr to Bond. Bond going over. And now it's a 2-point margin.
Beautiful play there from Queensland. Both locking each other up in defence, and Queensland losing that one just before.
So now Warren again going forward for Victoria. Gets a pass on. Lewis is in. So Victoria fans will be happy with that effort. As now it's Bond who sends a long one to Carr. And Carr will go over.
Impressive long ball there from Chris Bond through to Cameron Carr. One of the fortes of Chris Bond. Matt Lewis also fantastic from Victoria number 1 with that long ball. Certainly got the strength, the power, these boys.
So Lewis bouncing the ball. Warren and Lee's now going forward. And as Lewis just wants to go over, that was his wants. And that's what happened. So again, it's Queensland with the ball. A 1-point margin, 18-17. Hope you're enjoying this one. New South Wales and Japan follow suit. As now Carr looking to get it on here. He's got Scott, won't use him. Carr stops, gets the pass on. Bond over. So 4:45 remains. And it's a 2-point margin for the Queensland Cyclones.
So on the field we have Ryan Scott, who was the Australian Steelers captain that took out the Paralympic gold medal last year. Jaden with the ball for Victoria takes a tumble. So we have a spinning foul.
Oh, he was very close to the line.
Yeah. Appears that Scotty's sending Cameron Carr through to the box to serve the penalty. And Victoria will then take the ball from the sideline.
Well, you've been watching every game with intent. What have you seen? How many times have we seen I guess not a sin bin, but a minute off or play off? I think it's been 2 in this game. How many other games have we seen that to be the case this tournament so far?
Oh, it's been incredible. A lot of the matches have been such tight games, Nicholas. It's certainly been some intense rugby here this week.
As now, this is Lewis spinning around here. And they get the try, and he will at the end, so it's over.
And Cameron Carr will enter the field again for Queensland, so 4-on-4 again.
So now, Carr gets it on. Thompson stopped.
And Jaden sticking his hands in there, and he'll be sent over for Victoria to the box, so he will serve a minute penalty.
So that's 3 in this game, and as I said, I didn't see any yesterday when I was here. It's been incredible that there's been 3 in the space of, 12 minutes or so. So now Bond has it for Queensland. Bond going forward. It's 19-18. Finds here Thompson. Thompson now pressured by Lewis. Thompson gets it to Bond. Bond now really needs to use the space he's got here on the left. Bond going forward, beats here Lees, and he'll go over. So that is some fantastic work by the Queenslanders. And the score now sees them lead 20-18. So Warren now has it. Victoria back with their full 4. Warren over half. Warren, pass on, and he finds here Lewis. And Lewis will go over for another one. So it's another tight game here between these two sides. Only a point in it, and points in it, I should say, Emma. As now Bond has it, gets it on. Carr going forward. Carr goes over. So again, with 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining, it's Queensland up by 2. Emma, let's see what they can do here, Victoria, with the ball, because they've been a handful, especially this one and Lewis. We know how good he is. The battle between him and Bond. Bond, he decided that at the end they had to push Warren away, thinking that Lewis was going to be covered. Wasn't the case, and Lewis is in. As now Bond has it again, and will go on. Carr over half court. Now he's got Lewis trying to stop him. That is good defence initially, and it was a bad bounce pass at the end. And Victoria will have it once more.
Unfortunate play there for Queensland. Each and every play, as you can see, really makes a difference in this sport. So Victoria, Jake taking it from the side. Matt Lewis through the middle. Bondi up on him again. These two, a fierce competition. And Maddie Thompson helping out there. But Lewis for the try.
Well, there it is. There's another one on the tally for Victoria. So it is 21 all. We're back to even Stevens. So now Queensland have the ball. Bond going forward. Bondi on the right. Throws it long. Thompson's there. And Thompson gets over for another one.
What a beautiful long ball there by Bondi, number 1 for Queensland, and also represents our country in the Australian Steelers. The boys will be heading over for the Oceania Games in Auckland later this month.
Should be fantastic, as it once again we see here Lewis, and Lewis goes over. It's a great initial work by Warren, and it's Lewis that makes it a game parity. So Victoria and Queensland doing battle in this one. As now it's Bond going forward. Thompson, pressured by Lewis. Got a pass to Bond. Bond nearly airlifted. Got the pass on. Found here Carr. Carr goes again over. And a minute 50 remains in the second quarter. Queensland lead 23-22. Now they have possession on the left-hand side. Victoria through Lewis. Lewis now. Oh, this is great work by him. Will move in nonchalantly. And again, makes it even in this one. So it's tight. And now it's Queensland again with Bond. A long ball. Carr has got it now. He needs to beat here to the defence of Lewis. Does. Gets the pass back on. And there he is, Bond on the spot.
Impressive teamwork there, Nicholas.
Yeah. So now it's Lewis once more. Long ball out. Warren picks it up. Warren will move over here. Oh, he's trying to get the time. No, he's just trying to play the clock down just a shade. Now it's Lewis that will go up on the line. He'll try to cut in, couldn't.
And what we have here is a 4 in the key. You saw a few of those in the previous game with Japan versus New Zealand. So 4 in the key, and the last one in was Cameron Carr for Queensland. So he'll serve a penalty in the box. And now Victoria's done very well here, Nicholas. Their lead is only by 1 now to Queensland. Just under a minute to go in this first half.
To think it was a 4-point margin at the breakers. Now Lees goes over. And at the first break, it was a 4-point margin. Now it's even with 57.3 remaining on the clock. So again, it's Bond who has it. Bond will swivel outside the key. Wanted to get up the car. Eventually does. Carr now going forward here on the left-hand side. wants to move in. He's got Lewis on him. Carr now wants to lob it back, calls a timeout.
Smart play there by Cameron Carr. Experienced player. Calling that timeout for the back half. Really great pressure there from the Victorian side.
So, Victoria and Queensland doing battle in this one. Victoria Protect Thunder against the Suncorp Queensland Cyclones. The next one is the GIO New South Wales Gladiators against Japan. That game at 1:30, followed by Team Canada and Victoria Protect Thunder. So, big afternoon for Victoria. Queensland will play the final game today against Canada. So, this one with 43 seconds on the clock. You can hear the Queensland fans. The fans are going off for Queensland. The Victoria fans, they're here.
I think they're just having a snooze though, Nicholas. It seems there's more Queensland fans in the stand than Victorians. So
yep.
We'll see how we go through this game.
Bond goes forward. Bond now want to move in.
And here we've had a leave in the court, so Jaden taking the penalty box now. Queensland with the ball from the sideline, so he's left the court.
So there's been 5 players sent to the box in this game.
Yeah, 5 penalties this game. It's there's sure been a bit of time spent in that penalty box, but fortunately they've been able to just get released back before that minute serves, so they've been able to get back on the floor and play 4-on-4.
It's been interesting as now Bond goes back, bounces the ball a couple of times. Bond going back to the right. Now swiveling, looking at the clock. With 10 seconds remaining, has to get on. And he does. And he'll move in. Though he'll stop. And now he gets over.
Right on the buzzer. Impressive by Chris Bond.
So 24 all the score. Queensland lead Victoria. We will be back here at the Sydney Olympic Park Sports Centre. It is 25-24 as the clock ticks over. Queensland lead Victoria. And we're about to start the second half between the Victoria Protec Thunder and the team from Queensland, the Suncorp Queensland Cyclones. And there's the buzzer to start the second half. It will be Thompson that will start things off. Timeout has been called.
Tight defence there. Queensland feeling the pressure and having to call that timeout. Still a few, though, that they have through this game.
So, we will restart in a moment's time. This game between the Queensland Cyclones and the Victoria Thunder, followed by the New South Wales Gladiators and Japan, as Bond gets the ball, and Bond is in. 2 seconds into the official start of the third quarter, and they score, the Queenslanders. So it'll be Victoria through Warren. Warren on the right side. Bond is pressuring him. Warren wanted to throw it long. He does. It's popped out there. Lewis couldn't hold on to it. Very disappointing at the end there. The start they were looking for this third quarter. And Stewart in commentary. Nicholas Kutniak here. As now, this is Thompson going forward. Goes back. Bond. Going left, going back in. He's over. 7:30 remains in the third quarter. It's 27-24. Queensland have got to that 3-point lead once again. Ward now going forward on the right side. Goes back. Lewis. And the referee, he's caught an indiscretion, Emma.
Yeah, so we had a lead in the court there. Miko Zane getting pushed out by Jaden there from Victoria. So Mickey will serve a minute in the box. Again, Nicholas, there's certainly been a few penalty box times this game.
There has indeed. It will be Warren that restarts things. Ball back. Now Warren goes towards Lewis. Stops. Lewis goes. And then he stops. And then he tries to beat Bond and he gets over. So 7 minutes remaining. Victoria are back on the ball to make it 27-25.
Mickey O'Zane back on the field of play, so it's 4-on-4. Cameron Carr with the ball on the base, through to Matt Thompson for Queensland. Oh, Jaden's chair lifting a bit there, but staying in his chair. Through to Bondi on the right-hand side of the field. Matt Lewis for a big hit.
A good hit, but Bond will win out. He'll win out, and he wins out nicely. And that's a good score by Queensland. So now, the game there on the attack, Victoria. This is Lewis, over half court. Lewis, in the middle. Lewis will go over once again. So, Victoria with another point. And a final one in this game. I hope you're enjoying wherever you may be. It's the Sydney Olympic Park Sports Centre where we're bringing this game from. As now, it's Queensland on the left. Carr. He's going to slow down and he'll work his way into the key and he'll get over. So it's Queensland 29, Victoria 26. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Emma Stewart, what are you seeing in this one?
Yeah, an impressive start to this third period. Queensland taking a few of those tries early on. So the lead now is by 3 to Queensland. Matt Lewis on the right-hand side of the field takes the try for Victoria, reducing that lead now to 2. Cam Carr on the baseline.
So now we restart again. This is Thompson. Thompson. Pass to Bond. Bond. Rolling backwards. Gets over. Great stuff there by Bond. So the score here is 30-27. Queensland lead Victoria. So again, it's Victoria on the charge. Nice stuff by Lewis. Lewis will go over. And Victoria are trying to crawl their way back. As now it's Thompson over halfway. Thompson looking for a man to go forward, lobbed it up. It's won nicely at the end by Lewis. Lewis is again over once more.
He's got some quick hands there, Matt Lewis, for Victoria. We've got some substitutions waiting on the bench here.
But there's only one problem here. They're being spoken to by Jono. Jono's annoying the Victorian subs.
Always active, the man. Jono Farr, Fluffy McD.
Bond goes forward and Bond is in. He's a social butterfly. Just can't find his wings.
You'd think it'd be with the ladies, but seems
that's why I said he can't find his
boys.
Wings. 31-29.
Jono asked us to ease up, but that's all right. We can have a crack.
And it's Lewis that beats Bond out. Lewis goes over.
Impressive fight between those two. It's very fierce. Both in the Steelers squad, representing Australia.
So 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Can they keep it up? Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be. It's Victoria and Queensland doing battle.
Just a bit of a chat there between the referees, getting some clarification. And we're away. Cameron Carr with the ball on the right-hand side of the field. Great defence. Jason Lees.
So it's Carr again, moving down this left channel. Finds here Bond. Bond beats here the defence of Warren and Lewis. And Bond goes over. This is fantastic stuff as now Victoria go forward. This is Warren, really going hard. Warren at Bond, all good contact. And Warren now again swivels back on the inside. Lewis now trying to fend off Bond, while Warren lobs it back towards Lewis. Lewis again going down the right channel, moves into the key, moves over. And another effort for Victoria. It is 32-31. And it's the Cyclones only leading just by one. So now it's Carr, who's pressured by Warren. Carr goes low, finds here Bond, overhead pass. Gonna be intercepted, it goes over the top, it's won by Lees. Lees now goes to Warren. Warren over half court. Now he goes towards the left side, wanting to go back in, finds here Lewis. Lewis now charging at the line. There's been a call by the referee. Infringement's been called here, Emma.
Yeah, so leaving the court, so still the try there for Victoria. Queensland player crossing the line before Victoria had the chance to cross, so a penalty goal. And we've got an equipment timeout here. Tyre change.
So 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. It's Victoria. It's Queensland. Queensland supporters, are you still here?
Who's going for Queensland?
You can hear it. Now they've jumped up.
There you go.
Victoria, loud and clear.
Oh, Nicholas, it seems we've got some more Victorians in here now.
So 4 minutes, as I said, remaining. Third quarter.
And we've just got a bit of a timeout here. So the boys heading to their benches, reconvening, and will be away shortly. So next year, hosting the Worlds here in Sydney. Big event, that is for sure. International test event. This is one of the lead-ups, actually. That's why we've got Canada, New Zealand, and Japan here for the week.
So next year will be here, of course, in Sydney town.
Absolutely.
The big event we're looking forward to. And as you mentioned before, Tokyo 2020. And then it's Paris 2024. That a couple of days ago was released.
Exciting times ahead for the sport of wheelchair rugby, also known as murder ball.
So now let's see what they can do now with possession. Queensland on the field is Nicholson.
His first few minutes in the game, Nicholas. Good to see him on the field, but Matt Lewis with the ball for Victoria.
And Lewis goes over. Great stuff by Lewis. 3:45 remaining. Fans are enjoying themselves this afternoon. It's good to see the grandstand at the moment about half to three-quarters full. It will get bigger as the days go on.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow night we have the gold medal match for the Nationals, and then coming into Saturday, the gold medal match for the International Test event. 2 events really being hosted here at Sydney Olympic Park. Bit of a hold-up here. Held ball.
And don't forget too, on the Saturday session, we'll have 5th, 1st, 6th to start off things at 11 a.m. Then at 1 p.m, the bronze medal match. The celebrity match at 3 p.m. And
that'll be a lot of fun, Nicholas.
4:30. You playing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. I might get in the chair, but it's probably not appropriate, being well pregnant.
Okay. Now we see here Lewis going forward. Lewis trying to beat Bond, swivels around. Lewis gets in once more. 3 minutes remaining, and it is Victoria up here. 34-32, the way things have changed in this one. As now it's Queensland again. This is Bond. Bond now goes for a high pass and goes over the top of Thompson.
Bit too much muscle there from Bondi, and Matty Thompson locked up there by the defence, so just couldn't quite get his hands to it. So Victoria, Jaden will take it from the side.
So Warren goes to Lewis. Lewis trying to cut up the middle. Lewis is going over half court now. He goes down the right. Lewis!
How's this, Nicholas? Victoria now in the lead. They've come back. Incredible way to bring in this third period. It's incredible to see.
The big V going forward is now Bond. He goes up the middle. The Queenslanders now return serve.
It really is anybody's game though, isn't it, Nicholas?
It is. It's anybody's game in this one. Victoria and Queensland. The Suncorp Queensland Cyclones and the Victoria Protect Thunder. As now again it's Ward. That goes on halfway, gets a pass on. Good work here by Lewis. He gets it in. And the score now is 36-33. 2 minutes and 22 remain.
Oh, Nicholas, Matty
There's a scuffle here.
Matty getting a hand on that. And now we've just had a foul call. Just getting clarification on this one.
So Sydney Olympic Sports Park, Sydney Olympic Park Sports Centre.
Matty Lewis serving a penalty for Queensland. Lost the ball there, unfortunately, and Matty Lewis ended up with it, and he got his hands in, so advantageous.
Lewis to Lee, and Lees goes over. So Victoria making it their game in the third quarter. As we say, it's the quarter where it all happens. Right side, Ward is pressuring here. Thompson. But Thompson was able to get out. Now Thompson on this left-hand side throws it forward. And now getting onto this one and picking it up and going over.
That'll be his first try for this game.
Good on him. Great effort by Josh Nicholson. That was a great chase. It's hard to get those low balls in those situations, and he was able to at the end. Warren now again has it for Victoria. And the Thunder. Warren. Bond is drawn in. And Warren decided to go out. So the score here is 38-34. Victoria lead Queensland. And now it's Nicholson going forward. Nicholson now gets the pass on the Bonds. Bonds will move in. And Queensland, they're going to do it from behind now in the third quarter. And a great effort there to get the points on the board. 3-point margin. Victoria lead Queensland. Emma Stewart.
Jaden with the ball there for Victoria. A really tight defence, but he makes it through and he'll cross that half.
So he beats Bonds, and Ward will go in, and a great effort at the end. So Bondy in the battle, of course, this afternoon with...
There's a lot of on and off ball intensity here, certainly tackling one another.
So now it's Thompson, bounces the ball once, goes inside of Lewis. Lewis now and Bonds have a battle. Now it's Thompson that's pressured here, goes back to Bond. Bond now stops and Bond again looking to go high here. What can they do?
He's really locked up there, Nicholas. Great defence.
He'll try to get it to the right. He does. It's picked up nicely. Nicholson, overhead pass, and again the miscommunication. Bond and Thompson both went up for the ball. At the end, Queensland couldn't get the ball over. So New South Wales will play Japan in the next game. I can see John O'Farr studying the game in full detail. It's going to be a great call by him.
Nice call, mate.
As Victoria will get the timeouts here.
Bring it in.
So this game is the second game of the afternoon. The Gladiators from New South Wales and Japan, the third game. Canada and Victoria will do battle at 3:15. 5 o'clock, be New Zealand and New South Wales. And Team Canada will take on Queensland at 6:45.
Big day here. 6 games.
Wheelchair Rugby World Championships in 2018, the precursor this year, the 2017 edition of Nationals, and also the excitement of Saturday afternoon, which we're all looking forward to. The big playoff day and finals day. As now it's Lewis who will go forward. Lewis now goes over half court. Lewis goes inside, Bond will push in.
No goal. That's a rare call. You don't see that much. Matt Lewis out and in. So no goal there for Victoria. That's an unfortunate one. Bondi really locking him up there, and the out and in was called. Matt Thompson with the ball. And Jaden getting his hands in there and getting a call from Scotty. So he'll head over to the penalty box.
And I think that's his third time this afternoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's got VIP entrance, I think.
Where's the red carpet? Anyway, Bonds now has the ball. Bonds lobs it forward here. Nicholson's there, gets the ball, 2 seconds remaining, has to be quick.
No goal!
He didn't get in. He just didn't have enough to get in.
So Jaden from Victoria will have to stay in the penalty box and serve his full minutes, even through this break into the fourth period, the last of the game. 8-minute periods, there's 4 of them fully timed. So the game now, Victoria leading by 4. Wow, what a comeback. 39 to 35.
The final quarter of this one between the Victoria Thunder and the Queensland Cyclones. This should be an absolute beauty. Nicholas Kutniak, Emma Stewart, fourth quarter action here in the Nationals for 2017 GIO. And now we see the restart by Queensland through Carr, goes to Thompson. Thompson on half court, goes to Bont. Bont wants to start this fourth quarter off nicely. We'll bounce the ball around before we will just go up the middle. Bounce it again, and then swivel in the key. And now we'll move in. And the score here is Victoria 39, Queensland are on 36. 7 minutes 36 remains in the fourth quarter. So Victoria lead this one. As we have a coach's timeout. So, Emma Stewart, what do Queensland need to do to get back in this game with 39-36 to score?
We're going to pull a few things out, but it's an example of that it just takes a few different possessions and it can be anyone's. Victoria were down and now leading a very impressive game, this test against Victoria and Queensland. Again, who do we have in the stands that's going for Victoria?
And they will try to get another one. Lewis picks it up.
Oh, he just gets that. Impressive stuff.
There too.
And how about our Queensland fans? Beautiful to see. I'm from the sunny state, Queensland, so good to see the support.
Bond now finds here Thompson. And Thompson is over 40-37 to score. 7 minutes remaining in this one. Victoria and Queensland. And the battle here is on.
Yeah, so we just had an equipment called, some of the players caught up. So that everyone has a fair chance. An equipment called on behalf of the ref so that we can play the game fairly.
So New South Wales GIO Gladiators against Japan. Next game of the afternoon. John O'Farr will be in for that game. As I said, he's studying very hard. There's Victoria going forward now. And we see here Harrison with the ball. Harrison down the right channel, bounces it once. Harrison now goes ahead down the right side, moves back to the inside, goes across and finds here Lewis. Bomber Lewis now. Bomber on the right will move in, and 6:47 remains. It's Victoria with another point to make it 41-37.
And in another equipment timeout called. This time for Ryan Scott, needing a tyre. James Duncan coming to give a hand on court.
What about the kids in the stands? We can hear them chanting here. The Queensland chants. Good to hear. And they are going off. Victoria, let's hear it.
I think that's one strong fan and a few others there. Nice whistle on you there.
Yeah, you can hear the whistle loud and clear. Now, it's Thompson who has it for Queensland. Thompson with the battle, but Bond's gone. It's going to be hard to get the ball. The ball goes down, and Emma Stewart has her first touch of the afternoon.
Bit of a familiarity for me. Normally on court, but taking the sideline now.
So, it's Carr that goes forward and finds here Thompson. And Matthew Thompson gets it in. So the score here is 41-38. It's Victoria leading Queensland. It's now the Protect Thunder Victoria side on the left-hand side. It's Harrison who goes forward. Good work by him to beat Thompson. Bond's on him now. Harrison, can he go again? Harrison holding the ball up here. Bond's with him again. Harrison was able to throw it on and finds here Lewis and Bomber Lewis will now move in. Him and Bondi having a little bit of a push and shove at the end.
They're really locking up Bondi in this fourth period. Putting a lot of pressure on him, which is good to see.
Thompson throws it forward. Carr is on the money to get the ball and scores another one. He makes it 42-39. So 6 minutes remain here, Emma. And it's been a great contest and a great crowd here for this one. Sydney Olympic Park Sports Centre, where we are, as now Bomber Lewis throws a long one out. He finds Harrison. Harrison and Bond. Harrison wins the challenge and gets over.
So just to cover a little bit of the ruling, we have 8 points on the court. So each player is ranked at different points depending on their function. Matty Thompson with the ball here. So each team will have 8 points, up to 8 points on the court at one time. So Bondi there receiving the ball. He's a high pointer. And an example of a low pointer is Ryan Scott, number 11 for Queensland. This way it matches up fairly so that we can have some blockers on the defense. Matty Lewis with the ball for the try.
And Lewis makes it another one for Victoria. The score here is 44-40. Queensland and Victoria doing battle. It's now going forward in Bond. Bond over half court. Bond now really pushing hard and gets in for another one. The Queensland supporters will be happy.
Nicholas, I just want to point out, every player on the field right now, gold medalists for Australia. So you're seeing the best in the world on the field of play right now.
And it's Victoria with the ball once again. It's Lewis. And the call, the Queensland player was off the court.
So we've got a leaving the court again, another penalty.
So 1 more minute from the penalty box. That is disappointing. He's been one of the big players for Queensland today, Carr. The Suncorp Queensland Cyclones against the Victoria Protect Thunder this afternoon.